All right, what's up everybody? My name is Jermaine Bibb. I'm a pilot based out of Louisville, Kentucky. I just recently completed an accelerated multi-engine course with Skyview Aviation in Murray, Kentucky. And I would just like to make a recap of how the accelerated course went and like a little debrief for future pilots who are looking to potentially do an accelerated course or just want to know what it was like and everything. So we're going to dive into it, and here's my debrief. All right, y'all, so I first want to start off and say that I had a lot of fun doing my multi-engine training. As I said before, it's an accelerated course, 3-day course, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and check ride on Sunday. I highly recommend accelerated courses, just to say that right now up front, just to speed through the training and knock it out in the weekend. Won't have to deal with weather if it's not a factor, just get it all knocked out. It was definitely one of my better training, getting my rating and everything. So it was just awesome to do that and just experience like my capabilities of learning and fly a new plane and doing a check ride in less than 3 days. It was a 3-day multi-engine course, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday you train, Saturday you train, then Sunday is a check ride. What I liked about this course with Skyview was that they already had a DP reserved and booked for Sunday. So you go in, when you book your training dates, you are already with a DP already scheduled and everything, and that's one of the major benefits of this particular program with Skyview and potentially any other. You want to definitely look into make sure a DP is already reserved and all that. As I said before, it's a 3-day course. It was about a little under $6,000 for the training. The DPE was a separate fee, so she was great, the training was great, and I really enjoyed myself, like I said before. So I did my training in a 1961 Beech Travel Air. Beautiful aircraft and very well maintained with the folks at Skyview and everything. It was my first time flying this bird, and they did a great job of just providing the material and breaking down how this particular plane flies, and made sure that their students knew how it flew prior to arriving to the training. So they provide all the packets as far as information about the plane, POH, ACS, and everything. You even have a debrief of your DPE that you'll be doing a check ride with. So the ground school will be provided to you, and they will expect for you to study prior to attending, so you just save yourself some time and everything. So you want to be on your P's and Q's, because this is an accelerated course. You want to come in as knowledgeable as possible with a full understanding of how the aircraft operates and the systems and everything. That way you're utilize as much time as possible while you're doing your training. For my particular situation with going down and my booking ahead, of course you got some variables that could factor you not flying a particular day, such as weather, which was the case for me and my partner. We came down on Friday and it was a bad weather day, so we was not able to fly on Friday. So all we did was a brief ground lesson, got our paperwork done with the owners and everything, and our log books and all that updated. And then Saturday we came back out and had a full day of training. Then, like I said before, a check ride on Sunday. So just a little bit more on the Beech Travel Air. If you're not familiar with it, it's a Beechcraft Travel Air and everything. 1961 was the plane I was flying. Standard 6-pack in this aircraft. They have another Travel Air available with Skyview that is a 1964 and more of an updated cockpit. But I had no problem flying using the steam gauges, of course. That's the traditional way of learning how to fly and all that, and I actually did a lot of my training originally with using steam gauges, and a lot of my time is with steam gauges too. So that was very familiar with me, and it wasn't a problem. I did like how like I said before, they prepared us coming in. So we did meet over the phone, over a Zoom, us, my partner, and maybe 5 or 6 other students who was taking the course throughout that prior week. and we just got on a Zoom call with Greg and Clint, who's right now the CFI, the MEIs down there doing the training, and they just ran through their whole packet that they provided. Very well put together packet, ground school lessons, like I said, systems, and just a briefing of everything you need to know, everything you want to know when flying and coming into this training. So that took about an hour of ground school, and it was very informal. You was able to ask a lot of questions as far as what to expect, which day we'll be doing this, which day we'll be doing that, assuming if weather cooperates. So it was just very cool just to hop on a Zoom call prior to actually coming down and just hearing from the CFI, the MEIs and everything, and just talking to them and asking them the questions that you might not have been able to ask them once you receive the package. So just kind of get everything on the table and have a full understanding of what to expect. So I really like that from working with Skyview. I had a partner, and so we did our training together, not necessarily in the same aircraft. At the time, they do have, well, like I said, they have 2 travel airs available, but maintenance may be a factor for one, so you might be able to have to fly with one. So in this particular case, we was not able to fly together. So sometimes with accelerated courses, you have a partner and they'll have one guy backseat fly, one guy or gal backseat fly while the other person is actually flying the aircraft. Then they'll swap. Like I said, it was for me and my partner Blair. Shout out to Blair, great partner and everything. There was an available aircraft. Both travelers were available, so we both was able to knock out our training at the same time, simultaneously. So we both was in the air at the same time. One student was with Greg, and one student was with, well, I was with Greg and Blair was with Clint. So that's how they divided up. I do like the fact that they allowed us to have a partner, so to speak, and everything, because we're pretty much doing the same thing together. Check ride day is the same for both of us, and we're in this together. It's my buddy. So it was cool to talk to him about the system, some stuff that I didn't understand, and vice versa. Some things he didn't understand, maybe I could help explain it to him from a different perspective than the MEI and all that. But yeah, Blair and I had a lot of conversations prior to our check ride about what to expect and just having a full understanding of the aircraft and its systems. That way we're going into this check ride as prepared as possible. So a benefit definitely of this program is they're providing a partner with you, and if you can train together and study together and even talk prior to the training, which Blair and I did, that's very beneficial to your training and just saving you a lot of time in the ground school, because it's not, especially if weather becomes a factor, you might lose a day like we did. We flew all day Saturday, so it wasn't really much time for ground school, and so we utilized that time. So after we flew, the first day, might go grab dinner or something, then just talk about what we learned and what we was having trouble with, just to have a better understanding of it. So definitely a big perk of the accelerated course that I was a part of, and that some people may, some operators may, or some flight schools may provide, is allow you to have a partner and y'all kind of bounce ideas and information off each other just to keep each other sharp. So that's definitely one thing that I liked about the Skyview and the accelerated course that I did, was being able to talk with my partner. So on Saturday when we was out flying, we was doing like 1.5, 2 hour legs. So going up for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, doing all the maneuvers, steep turns and all that stuff, slow flight, VMC demo, and single engine operations and all that stuff. That's how it works. So Saturday we woke up at the crack of dawn, met at the airport very early, and we kind of just provided, we just knocked out the flying. So it was an early day of flying and a long day of flying, but it was a lot of fun. If you love to fly, you really enjoy the accelerated course, because it's pretty much most of the time you're training, that's what you're doing. You're in the plane, practicing these maneuvers, getting it down to where it's kind of second nature to you, where you fully understand what to do for you lose the engine, the run and the drill. So it was cool to fly all day that day. I think it never hurts to do it multiple days in a row instead of just cramming it all in one day. But like I said, you never know when weather is going to be a factor and you're not able to fly on a certain day and everything. So the importance of actually chair flying, when you're just sitting down and you're running through the maneuvers, your throttle, your power settings and everything, I think that's vital, just to have a full understanding, because you want to utilize as much time as possible when you're actually up in the air and all that. So definitely a benefit is the chair flying and just preparing yourself going in, and that way when you're if you do have to fly all day, you're pretty much prepared. But the flying all day definitely helped because it was just repetition. And I mean, as you know, if you're a pilot, well, assuming you're a pilot, if you already have most of your ratings already, you want to just be prepared and know your, just be able to fly the plane and know your systems secondhand. The Travel Air does have a different type of quadrant. I think after a certain year they moved it to regular quadrant. So in most multi-engine planes, it's a mixture from working from right to left. It's mixture, prop, throttle, and the Travel Air is actually mixture, power, prop. So mixture, throttle, prop. And it wasn't nothing really for me to get used to because this is the first time I was actually training in a multi-engine aircraft. I have a few hours, dual hours in multi, but it was, but in this case, since it was full-blown training, it was my first time flying it, so it wasn't really hard for me to adjust to it. And from flying all day Saturday, the repetition actually helped out a lot with that, from just naturally knowing where the quadrants are. They do provide a lot of good material. YouTube was actually really YouTube's everybody's friend, but YouTube, I did a lot of video searches on YouTube, multi-engine trainings, videos on YouTube, as far as not necessarily for the Travel Air, even though it's beneficial if you can find a plane on YouTube with the training and everything, just kind of have an idea of it. There's not many videos out there with the Travel Air, but I did see videos because as far as running the drill, which is if you lose an engine while during flight, just knowing what to do. So there are a lot of videos out there as far as running the drill. So I highly recommend people just going on YouTube and just using Google and everything just to find that video there, a video or article that may help you understand it. So just do your research before on the aircraft and training for multi-engine training, because a lot of this stuff is the same, and just try to stay ahead of the game. I do want to say the couple pros of the accelerated course. One, it was a 3-day course. Love that. Some accelerated courses are 5 to 7 days. I just don't like that because it would possibly, you got 5 to 7 days of potentially weather coming in. The 3-day course is just bang, 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 and you're there. So maybe one bad weather day like we had, but then you fly the next 2 days. So I really like the 3-day accelerated course. Another thing was the DP being on, being ready, and part of the schedule. So, like I said, Friday and Saturday are training days and check route on Sunday. Maybe if check route on Sunday. And I mean, that's one of the harder things of when you're trying to get a check route is finding available DP. So with this training group, with Skyview, they already had the DP ready, so it was train up and get locked in and knock it out. The cons, I mean, weather, of course, you can't really control weather, but 3-day course, of course, if it's raining all 3 days, you'll have to reschedule for a whole different time. So the weather ended up being great for Saturday and Sunday, a little bumpy maybe during the day, but you're flying a plane, so just kind of adjust for that. Another thing, I mean, it's not even really a lot of cons about it, but it's another thing that I can see being a potential problem for people is that, you may feel overwhelmed because it's an accelerated course. So it's like, dang, my check ride Sunday and it's Saturday night. It's like, dang, am I ready? But one thing you should do is just definitely trust your MEIs and make sure that, and that way they'll have you prepared. So if they say you're ready, just know that you're ready for whatever will come. So it was a lot to knock out all the training, all the flying in one day, but I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, learning a new aircraft and the systems, but I could see how it could be potentially overwhelming for somebody, because like, dang, I flew all day. Maybe another day, will get me out. Well, I'll be good, but normally it's 3 days. But if weather's not a factor, you'll be able to knock out that training in 2 days, then check route on 3rd day. Then, of course, like I said, when we flew down there, we did more maneuvers on the way down just to make sure I had a full understanding of it. The MEIs will give you a mock check ride and everything just to make sure you fully understand. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions because, you're pretty much representing your MEIs. So you don't want to go in there unprepared or feeling like you should have asked your MEI this when you had the opportunity, but you didn't. So just don't be afraid to ask questions. I promise it may seem overwhelming, but if your MEI says you're ready, then you're most likely ready. Just hit the books, chair fly, and just get locked in and prepare yourself as best as you can, just like any other check ride. My favorite part of the training was just learning how to fly a new aircraft. It was pretty cool flying a Travel Air. It was pretty cool in general flying a multi-engine aircraft. So, you know, from everything from the throttle quadrants to switching on the generators and all that stuff, hitting the switches, all that stuff was just really cool. So I really enjoyed that. I just love flying. So anytime, any opportunity I have to fly a new aircraft, I'm definitely open and willing to do that. Another thing, another favorite part of the training was just becoming a better pilot. Of course, you make mistakes. Every pilot makes mistakes, especially when learning something new. But from flying this aircraft, I realized some other faults I had outside of just flying, you know, as far as flows and all that stuff. So my flows did get better, I believe, after getting this done. You know, some safety briefings and, you know, how to brief more detailed and all that stuff. But overall, I truly believe I became a better pilot from just this training. So that's always good, and I really enjoyed it. All right, y'all, so that's pretty much all I have. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, shout out to Skyview Aviation, highly recommend them. I recommend doing a accelerated course if you can. And, you know, just get to it if you can. I mean, get to it and get it knocked out. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, of course, comment below. If you liked the video, if it helped you, definitely give it a thumbs up and share it with your friend or something. I really just like doing this because it's helping the next pilot. If I can help out any way I can, I definitely am going to. And here making videos is one of the ways that I can help the next pilot that may not be in the same airport as me or in the same city or even the same state. Just helping the next person out. That's what it's all about. We all after the same goal, of course, which is probably flying for a living, you know, or just knocking out these ratings and just having success with flying. But there's no competition. You know, if you want to be the best pilot you can be, and if you can help the next person out, you know, then why not? So with that being said, that's all I have. Expand your horizons, no limits. If you have any questions, holler at me.